If you are hearing these words right now, stop for a moment. Really stop. Feel this instant. Out of all the places you could be, you are here. Listening. Receiving. That alone is a sign. Life rarely speaks in loud voices. More often it whispers, sometimes through the numbers you keep seeing, sometimes through a dream that lingers longer than it should, sometimes through a chance encounter that feels too precise to be random. And sometimes the sign arrives like this, clear, undeniable, standing in front of you, waiting for you to notice. Do you ever wonder why you found this message today? Do you feel the pull inside, as if something greater has placed this very moment in your path? Pause. Breathe in deeply. Exhale slowly. Again. Inhale. Exhale. With each breath, feel how even the act of listening is already changing your energy. Awareness is the first key, and the fact that you are here proves something powerful. Your timeline is bending. Most people never pause. They keep running, from one task to the next, from one distraction to another. Like passengers asleep on a train, they miss the landscapes, unaware they could ever choose a different destination. But you paused, you listened. That choice alone breaks the pattern. And with every broken pattern, a new possibility emerges. Can you feel it? The subtle difference between listening with your ears and listening with your heart. One gathers information, the other awakens transformation. Imagine this moment as a flame in the dark, small but alive. The more attention you give it, the brighter it grows. Ignore it, and it flickers out like so many forgotten whispers. Which will you choose? Your breath is the doorway. Inhale not just air, but possibility. Exhale not just air, but the weight of old stories. Every inhale opens a new sky above you. Every exhale releases what no longer belongs to you. Think of the night sky. Endless, infinite, filled with constellations. Each star is a possibility. Each constellation, a timeline. Most people only look at one small corner of the sky, believing it is all there is. But you are learning to look up, to see more, to sense the vastness. Inside you, a deeper self has always known this truth. The part of you that refuses to believe life is only repetition. The part that longs for freedom, for alignment, for more. That part of you guided you here. And now I ask you, are you willing to listen not just with your mind, but with your whole being? Are you willing to treat this moment not as entertainment, but as initiation? Because if you stay, something will shift. If you allow these words to sink in, they will not just touch your thoughts, they will rearrange your energy. They will remind you of what you already carry inside. The sign has appeared. The flame has been lit. The threshold is open. The only question left is, will you walk through it? There comes a moment in every seeker's life when the universe begins to speak more clearly. Not through textbooks, not through theories, but through signs. Signs are the language of awakening. They are the compass of your soul, pointing you toward transformation. They appear when your consciousness stretches just beyond the edges of the ordinary. When you are ready to notice that life itself is speaking to you. Think about déjà vu. Have you felt it lately? That strange pull of familiarity. The sensation that you have walked this exact path before. That you have said these words, stood in this place, breathed this air already. Déjà vu is more than a glitch of the mind. It is the brush of parallel timelines touching each other. It is the fabric of reality whispering, pay attention, you are standing on the edge of change. And what about numbers? 11:11 glowing on the clock again. A receipt stamped with 33:33. A message arriving at 2:22. These repeating patterns are not trivial. They are markers of alignment. They are cosmic breadcrumbs scattered across your path, reminding, yes, you are exactly where you are meant to be. Sometimes the signs are people. A stranger says the very words you needed to hear. A friend you have not seen in years calls out of nowhere. A book falls from a shelf, or a video appears in your feed at the perfect moment, this very one. Have you noticed how precise it all feels? Almost as if life is orchestrating itself just for you? And then, there are the subtler signs, the ones inside you. The longing that will not quiet down. The sense that your old routines no longer fit. The quiet knowing that something greater is calling your name, even if you cannot quite define it. This inner pull is the most powerful sign of all. It is your higher self knocking at the door of your awareness. So let me ask you, what signs have you seen? What whispers have you ignored? What patterns keep showing up in your life, almost demanding your attention? Pause here. Bring them to mind. Remember the synchronicities, the moments that felt like too much alignment to be random. Feel them again in your body. Those were not coincidences. They were fingerprints of your higher timeline brushing against your present. The truth is this: the universe is not silent. It is alive, conscious. It responds to you constantly. And when a major shift is near, the signals multiply. Dreams grow vivid. Encounters grow sharper. Numbers and patterns repeat. The synchronicities become undeniable. But here is the question: are you paying attention? Or are you brushing them off as accidents? Because the difference between an accident and a sign is only your awareness. When you notice, reality transforms. When you ignore, it fades back into noise. This moment right here is the clearest sign of all. You are here, listening, receiving. If your higher self did not want you here, you would not be. If the shift was not ready, this message would not have appeared before your eyes. So let this land. This is not random. This is alignment. This is confirmation. The universe is saying, yes, the change is near. Yes, you are ready. Close your eyes for a moment and imagine this. Your life is not a straight line, not a single road stretching from birth to death, locked and unchangeable. No. Your life is more like a vast sky at night, filled with countless constellations. Each constellation is a timeline, each star a choice. Together they create endless possibilities of who you can become. Most people believe they are stuck on one track, that the story has already been written. They wake, they repeat, they survive. But reality is not a single script. It is a stage with infinite plays happening at once. And you, the observer, hold the power to choose which script you step into. Think of it like this: every choice is a spark. Respond with fear, and you ignite the spark that lights the path of fear. Respond with patience, and you ignite a different flame, one that illuminates peace. Sparks may look small in the moment, but gather enough of them, and you set fire to an entire night sky of possibilities. So I ask you, what sparks have you been feeding lately? Are you lighting the fires of doubt? Or are you feeding the flame of trust? Timelines are not just ideas. They are living rivers of reality, flowing side by side. Some carry heaviness, repetition, scarcity. Others carry flow, synchronicity, abundance. You can step into any of them, because they are all here, right now. And the doorway is your awareness. Imagine walking through a hall of mirrors. Each mirror reflects a different you. One mirror shows the self that keeps repeating the past. Another reveals the self who has chosen courage and expansion. Another reflects the you who is already free, already aligned, already awake. All the mirrors exist at once. Which reflection will you step into? Pause here and let the question land. Which version of you do you most often choose? Which version is calling to you now? The sages and mystics of every tradition have tried to describe this truth. Some called it karma, the web of cause and effect. Others called it destiny and free will dancing together. Today, some call it quantum reality, the field of infinite possibility. Different words, same truth. Reality is not fixed. It bends, it responds, it rearranges itself in the presence of your awareness. And you have already felt this. Think back to a time when you changed something inside yourself, an attitude, a belief, a decision, and suddenly the outside world shifted too. Maybe you forgave someone, and heaviness lifted. Maybe you dared to say yes to a dream and doors opened as if waiting for you. Was that coincidence? Or was it you stepping into another timeline? Look back at your life. How many times have you been one decision away from an entirely different path? How many times did a choice, big or small, change everything that followed? Can you feel now how much power even one conscious choice holds? This is why awareness matters. Without it, you drift, repeating loops without realizing you are walking the same ground. But with awareness, you become the navigator. You choose, You shift. You step into new constellations of possibility. The universe is vast. Endless timelines stretch before you like galaxies in the night sky. And the signal that brought you here is a reminder. You are not locked into yesterday's story. You are not bound to one reflection, one mirror, one spark. The higher self within you is handing you the key. So ask yourself again, deeply, which timeline are you ready to step into now? The one of repetition and limitation? Or the one where you awaken fully as the observer, as the creator, as the dreamer who knows the dream is theirs to shape? The doors are open, the mirrors are waiting, the sparks are alive. The sky is infinite. Only you can choose. Most of humanity lives inside invisible loops. Wake up, work, worry, distract, sleep, repeat. The faces may change, the places may shift, but the pattern remains. Life feels like the same song on repeat. Familiar, predictable, but heavy. Have you felt this in your own life? That sense of living the same day, again and again, even when circumstances look different. These loops are prisons disguised as comfort. They keep you bound to a single version of reality, a single timeline. And yet, deep inside, something whispers. There must be more than this. That whisper is the crack in the loop, the first sign of freedom. Here is the truth: loops are not permanent. They continue only as long as you remain unconscious of them. What you do not question, you repeat. What you do not observe, you become. And what you see clearly, you transform. This is the shift. The moment you realize, I am not the loop. I am the one who sees the loop. When you awaken as the observer, repetition weakens. Suddenly, you notice the thought that always returns. I cannot. You see the emotion that circles back. Fear, anger, doubt. But instead of drowning in them, you watch them. And in that watching, you become free to choose differently. Pause here. Ask yourself, what thoughts have you been recycling? What emotions keep visiting you like old ghosts? Can you see them right now from a distance? This simple act of noticing is liberation. The prison door swings open the moment you realize it was never locked. The shift often begins small. A pause before you react. A breath before you repeat the same words. A question whispered inside. Do I have to play this role again? But small cracks lead to collapse. One awakened moment weakens the entire structure of the loop. And with every conscious choice, a new timeline unfolds beneath your feet. Think of it like waking from a dream. Inside the dream, the struggles feel real. The fears feel permanent. But the moment you wake, you realize it was all projection. The same is true of the loops you live. They feel unshakable until awareness enters. And then, like mist before the morning sun, they dissolve. Can you remember a moment when you broke a pattern? When you chose silence instead of argument? Or courage instead of hesitation? Did not reality itself feel different after that? This is the invitation of the shift, to stop living as a prisoner of the dream and to awaken as the dreamer. To stop waiting for destiny to arrive tomorrow and to realize destiny is written now, with this breath, this choice, this instant. So I ask you, what story have you been replaying? Whose voice echoes in your mind on repeat? What cycle are you ready to end? Because the shift is not loud, it is not fireworks, it is quiet clarity. It is the soft but unstoppable realization, I am not my past, I am not my fear, I am not even my thoughts, I am awareness itself. And awareness can choose. That choice is everything. That choice is the crack in the loop. That choice is creation. And with it, your timeline begins to bend. Concepts inspire, but experience transforms. Until you feel it, until you live it, timelines remain as ideas. Now it is time to practice, to shift not just in thought but in being. So wherever you are, allow yourself to settle, sit or lie down comfortably. Close your eyes if you wish. Take a breath. Inhale deeply. Exhale fully. Again. With each cycle, feel your body grow lighter. Feel your mind quiet. Now imagine yourself standing at a crossroads. Before you, two paths stretch into the distance. To the left, the familiar path. You have walked it countless times. On this path, you carry the same doubts, the same worries, the same patterns. It is heavy, predictable, safe, but stagnant. Look at this version of you. See their posture, their face, their energy. Do you recognize it? To the right, a different path. Here you see yourself shining brighter, standing taller. This version of you is lighter, freer, awake. This self is aligned with the flow of life. Synchronicities guide every step. Abundance comes naturally. Love surrounds and fills them. Look closely. Do you recognize the light in their eyes? Pause here. Which version feels more alive to you? Which one feels more true? Now, take a deep breath. With your inhale, prepare to step forward. With your exhale, choose. Whisper inside. I choose alignment. I choose freedom. I choose the higher timeline. As you take that step, imagine golden light wrapping around you, a cocoon of brilliance. With every breath, it grows stronger. With every exhale, the old path fades behind you. Bring your attention to your heart. Place your hand there if you wish. Feel its rhythm. With each beat, it anchors you deeper into your new timeline. Whisper silently, I am awake, I am aligned, I am free. Repeat. Let it echo, not just in your mind, but in your energy. Stay here, breathe, feel, notice how your body responds. Notice how your heart expands. Notice how the old weight begins to dissolve. Now ask yourself, what will I do differently in this new timeline? What thoughts will I nurture? What habits will I leave behind? What choices will I honor? Let images arise, let answers surface. Trust them. They are the voice of your higher self. Remember, this is not imagination. This is activation. The moment you choose, the ripple begins. You have already stepped across the threshold. When you open your eyes, the world may look the same, but it will not feel the same. Synchronicities will arrive, patterns will shift, opportunities will appear, because you chose. And choice is the most powerful force in creation. Every conscious choice plants a seed. Some grow into weeds of fear, others bloom into gardens of freedom. By choosing alignment, you have already planted new seeds in the soil of your reality, and they will grow. The first fruit is clarity. The fog lifts. Decisions feel simpler. The next step reveals itself. Stress dissolves because you are no longer forcing, you are flowing. The second fruit is lightness. Your shoulders relax, your chest opens, your breath deepens. Energy moves freely again. Your body feels less like a cage and more like a vessel of light. The third fruit is synchronicity. Numbers align, encounters appear, doors open. What once felt random now feels orchestrated. And it is. Reality is mirroring your new vibration. Relationships shift too. Some will fade naturally, belonging to an old timeline. Others will deepen in authenticity. And new ones will appear, souls who resonate with your new frequency. They will feel familiar, like mirrors of who you are becoming. And perhaps most beautiful, joy arises. Not the fleeting joy of external success, but a quiet, steady joy. Smiling for no reason, feeling gratitude in ordinary moments, seeing beauty where before you saw none. Pause. Ask yourself, have I felt glimpses of this already? Have I tasted clarity, lightness, synchronicity, joy? If yes, then you already know the truth. The benefits are real. Transformation does not always roar. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it builds slowly, like dawn breaking. But one day you will look back and realize the old you feels like a distant dream. This is the gift of conscious choice. This is the reward of awakening as the observer. The shift is not something you visit. It is something you become. You have already shifted. The fact that you are here proves it. The seed is planted. The path is open. But awakening is not a one-time event. It is a practice, a rhythm, a lifestyle. The doorway must be walked through again and again until it becomes natural. So here is my invitation. Each morning, place your hand on your heart and whisper, "Today I walk my higher timeline." Throughout the day, when challenges come, pause and ask, which self is choosing right now? The one bound by fear or the one aligned with freedom? At night, before sleep, give thanks for every sign, every synchronicity, every moment of awareness. Gratitude is the glue that strengthens timelines. And do not keep this awakening to yourself. Share it, speak it, pass it forward. Because just as you were guided here, someone else is waiting for their sign. You could be the messenger, you could be the spark. Remember, the greatest sign of your new timeline is not outside of you, it is you. It is your choices, your presence, your love. That is the living proof. So I ask you, will you walk this practice daily? Will you honor the observer within you? Will you let awareness, not habit, write your story? And now, we arrive at the threshold, not the end, but the beginning. You have listened, you have chosen, you have felt. The sign has appeared, the shift has begun, the universe has spoken. Breathe deeply, inhale light, exhale the past, inhale possibility, exhale limitation, inhale truth, exhale illusion. With this breath, you step fully into your higher timeline. Remember this truth. You are not a prisoner of time. You are a traveler of timelines. You are not just a character inside the dream. You are the dreamer, awake within the dream. And as the dreamer, you hold the brush, the pen, the power. Carry this knowing with you. With every yes, the new timeline strengthens. With every choice, reality bends toward your highest expression. And tomorrow, when you wake, place your hand on your heart. Whisper, I am walking my higher timeline. That single act will anchor today's shift into tomorrow's dawn. Now, let these final words echo. You are awake. You are aligned. You are free. The door is open. The path is clear. The current is moving. Step into it fully. Trust it. Live it. And if you feel this shift, type in the comments, I choose my higher timeline. Let your words be your declaration. Let the world see your choice. Because this is not the end. It is the beginning. And the universe is waiting for your yes.